For this project, it started off personal. Being a property that I was purchasing for my mom who had suffered strokes, it became something else in the process of that, but that's kind of who I am and what got started. A realtor introduced me to Omaha Land Bank. I wasn't familiar with it. I wasn't familiar with the process, and it definitely was different. It definitely changed the routes I would normally go about doing a rebuild. The process with Land Bank, it guided me through the steps to do it the right way. It wasn't always the easiest way, but I learned how to do it the right way, so it was definitely worth it. I chose this house because this is a neighborhood I grew up in. What I like most about the Prospect Village area and neighborhood is I've been able to witness the transformation of the neighborhood. Been in Omaha my entire life, so I've seen the changes. I know the neighborhood is coming together. They're doing a lot of changes. There was only 2 bad apples on the block, and I actually got one of them and was able to do what I wanted to do with that property in this neighborhood.
I grew up just like Andre, like you said, we were longtime family friend. You know, he cared enough to come into the community and try and make that difference. And I'm glad to be a part of that because I love having community ties.
What motivated me to do this project is I wanted to learn the process of rebuilding a home. That was very important to me. The condition, it was scary. I had doubts about it. This was definitely my biggest rebuild, so I was nervous about it. I knew coming into this property it would be a complete rebuild. New plumbing, the windows were in poor condition. The ceiling, the flooring, you name it, it needed it. Hot water heater, furnace, AC, pretty much everything you could think of.
I think that patience is key when you're buying a land bank home, but that is why it's also important for your realtor to have knowledge of the land bank process, because if you're upfront about what is going to happen moving forward, then I find that the patience is there.
Yeah, there was a few things that caught me off guard that needed to be dealt with. I didn't understand the process, you know. I didn't understand that electrical permits had to be pulled prior to putting drywall up and things like that. I had to learn the process as I was going through it, so a great part of that was the land bank. A great part of that was the city of Omaha and the inspection department. They worked with me.
Holy Name Housing transforms abandoned property into homes to be used by families. In Prospect Village, Holy Name Housing built over 30 homes in this area, spending nearly $8 million. They were all new homes on vacant property. And while those families are using those homes, we teach them on how to own homes, how to take care of homes, transforming both the neighborhoods and people's lives. Andre's project is right adjacent to 4 other ranch homes we built. It's tagging on to the efforts we did 2 or 3 years ago. This transformation of neighborhoods needs a lot of communication between city and land bank and neighbors to know what's going on in a neighborhood, to know who has the interest in their neighborhood to revitalize the particular neighborhood or block. Andre now can rent this house to people who need housing.
Taking this project on, I knew it was going to be a big job. I knew I was going to need somebody that knew exactly what it is that was going to have to be done, and someone that I can trust. And Ruben is somebody that I've done business with. I knew once I purchased the house, he was exactly who I wanted to do the house.
Look at the project, so simple, but when you work, you find a hard parts. You know, is why you had to talk with your partner to see and get a better ideas to fix it out. Because really, North Omaha has old houses and costs a lot of money to tear up the whole thing.
The biggest things that were changed in this property to me would be there was actually a wall behind me that kind of boxed the house in. I wanted to open it up and give it more of a modern feel, modern look. So we transformed what used to be a small porch pantry area. We extended the kitchen out, tore down a couple of walls, and just kind of gave it a wide open look for a small house. The restroom was definitely the first thing I noticed that we were gonna have to change, because entrance to the restroom was through the second bedroom in the house. We were able to create a separate door entrance, and that had to happen, but I'm glad we did it like that. It turned out nice. I didn't plan on replacing the plumbing in this house. The plumbing was fine. That's probably the one thing that was able to be salvaged, and a couple of weeks into the rebuild, the copper was ripped out of here, so that's one of the things that was definitely a surprise.
My name is Mariah, and I helped choose the paint colors for the wall. I've never worked on a home renovation before. This was my first time. We went to Nebraska Furniture Mart to pick out the appliances, and I just told him what paint color to get. I chose gray because the lighter colors like gray or white, it makes the place look more open, and it's a neutral color. If my dad has any more projects in the future, I want to help him pick out paint colors and more designs for the projects.
It means the world to me to have my daughter be a part of, different business ventures and see all the different things that I do, to see why I do it so she can understand who I am as a person and why I do everything I do. I think she's getting good lessons every time we do something.
It's a privilege to be a part of bringing up the area of Prospect, because North Omaha always gets the worst stigmatism. Where he started off with a project with a $12,000 house, right now, without me looking at any comps, I know he could sell this house back for $90,000, even though it wasn't for profit for him. He still wanted to get something that was affordable.
Well, there's plenty of need for affordable housing. We have a waiting list of over 200 people. It'll be 2 years before we get to the end of that waiting list. This project, and others like it, satisfy the need by providing affordable housing in neighborhoods where people want to live.
I love Prospect Village because it's a direct reflection of who I am. I was born in this area. I was raised in this area. I'm a product of Section 8. I'm a product of OPS. I found a lot of value with working directly with Omaha Land Bank. I am going to do another project like this again. It means so much to me to be able to make some type of change, a positive change in my very own neighborhood.